Hi, everyone. Looks like we're live. Hi, I hope everybody's having a great day today. Give me just 1 second to get finished setting up real quick. And I hope that you're all doing well. And hopefully you all voted already. I'm excited to go over these governor races. Give me just 1 second. All right, perfect. All right, let me say hi to everyone real quick and we'll go through some housekeepings. I asked that if you have questions today, if you could just hold on to them till I'm done with these Senate races. As I said last week, we're going to focus more on election stuff, unless there's something big going on that we want to take a little bit of a deep dive in. But hello, more paper, please. Thank you for joining. Gail, Teresa, Flora, Martha, hi Tina, sweetie darling Lulu, Jackie, Pammy, hello. Hi Sharon and Gail. Hi Lisa. Hi Sharp Lisa, Yvonne, Laura, Mama Bear, Jima, Kim, Sonel, Linda, my tribe Tarot. Hi Mary, Thomas, Wisdom Seeker, Joan, Katie, Cheryl, and Seascape. Hi Ronette, Cindy Loomis, Patricia. Hi everyone. All right, so let's go over some housekeeping real quick. If you're watching, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate that. Any of my members watching, we'll be doing our weekly live stream tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope that you can all make that. If anybody's interested in becoming a member, let me put the link in. I do have it in the description box of this video, but I will post it here. For our members, I like to do answer mini readings or politics. Sometimes we've been doing some Reiki sessions, which have been really nice. Today we're going to be doing Pick a Crystal for the monthly energy of November. And so if anybody might be interested in that, I did just post that. We'd love to have some more people join us if you're able to. Let me see. Sorry, my notes are a little all over the place. All right, so this week I have my live stream with Mel on Thursday. I think Linda G might be joining us. I don't have that quite confirmed yet, but I think that's the plan. So I'm really excited to have Mel and Linda on Thursday. And this Saturday night, I'm going to be having a little celebration live stream for hitting 5,000 subscribers. So I want to thank all of my subscribers helping me hit this milestone on my channel. We're going to have some guest readers. Won't be answering any questions, but just have some fun hangout time. I think we all kind of need to decompress with all the chaos going on in the world. Hi, Sheila. So yeah, we have some really good readers from YouTube coming, and so I'm really excited about that. And on that channel celebration this coming Saturday, I'm going to pick my winners for a free Reiki session or free reading. Now, I'm going to announce how you will go to enter that. I'm doing something a little bit different this week. This time, I found a way that you can go through the comments of your videos and have this app generate a winner. So I think similar to like what Sterling does for his videos. So if you're interested in getting to get signed up for this giveaway, I'm going to have you comment on the bottom of this video after it's published, and you can start your comment with reading or with Reiki, and that will, depending on what you would like to be entered for. And I think I'm going to pull somebody interested in a reading and somebody interested in a Reiki session. So comment on this video after I'm all finished, and then this Saturday I will post a video. I'll post my winners during the celebration video. Thank you all. So yeah, and I'll put it in my community tab too. So it's this video, Tarot Tuesday, and I have the date November 11th on. I'll be pulling from this video. So make sure to sign up and leave a comment. All right, and let me see. I think that's about it for today. So we can go ahead and get into my governor race predictions. I just finished that up today. Pretty excited about it for the most part. Yes, I do distant Reiki remotely. Thank you, Gail. Hey, Dan. So yeah, I just finished up with my midterm governor races, so I'm going to announce that, and it's going to be posted to my community tab in about an hour. So make sure to look at that if I go through these kind of quickly. Now, I'll just say, tapping into this election, and even last week when I did the Senate races, a lot of these races are going to be really close, and those energies can change. So make sure that you go out and vote. I don't believe a lot of these races are set in stone. I think that they could go either way. I'm just giving my predictions on where the energy sits at the moment and who I think has the better chance between Democrat and Republican. Oh, I hadn't heard about that, Tina. That's good to know. She says Supreme Court rejects bid by Miss Lindsay to request to block subpoena in Georgia. Yeah, it was just a temporary stall. So yeah, let's get through this, and then if you have some questions you want me to read out, like I said, I'm going to keep it mostly with midterm stuff. Go ahead and submit those after I'm done with all of this. And I got quite a few good flips for us. I did feel one of the Democratic seats would flip to Republican, but I have, let me see, I have 6 Republican seats flipping to Democrats. So that, I think, would give us a majority of Democratic governors compared to Republicans by a couple. So let's go ahead and get through these. I might stop on some of these just because some of them have notes that I want to share as well. Oh, thank you for joining, Cheryl. Welcome to our members. All right, so Alabama, I think, is going to stay red. Kay Ivey is going to win that race. In Alaska, Mike Dunleavy, the Republican, I felt was going to win. We have our first flip in Arizona. Katie Hobbs, I'm saying, is going to be winning. So the Democrat winning there. As I continue to say, there are some states that I think are going to be pretty crazy. Arizona, Texas, Florida, Georgia. Those are the 4 that are really sticking out to me. I think it's going to be safe to assume that a lot of these Republicans are going to refuse to concede these elections and try to take a lot of these things to court, trying to suspend or change things. I don't see them being very successful with that. But yep, Katie Hobbs, Democrat, winning in Arizona. Yeah, and Arizona, I feel like is going to be very crazy. I think it's going to take some time, and there's going to be some confusion on who actually won. But ultimately, Katie Hobbs, I think, is going to prevail. I do think that it's going to be pretty close, though. All right, in Arkansas, I think that Sarah Huckabee Sanders is going to win, unfortunately. California, Gavin Newsom wins. Colorado, I see staying with the Dems, Jared Polis. Connecticut, Ned Lamont, Democrat, wins. All right, so next we're up to Florida. And I do feel like Florida is going to be very close. I don't think that this race is set in stone, but I do feel at the moment that Ron DeSantis is going to win in Florida. I've always said, though, if he does win, I don't think he's going to stay in there for very long. I feel quite a few scandals coming up around DeSantis and even some lawsuits. I wrote in my notes that I think women could make the difference in this race to change the outcome, um, and that I think DeSantis will win because he's working in the dark to make sure he takes it. Yeah, I saw a lot of like dark energy around his card, surprisingly. So that was being sarcastic. So right now I'm going to give it to Ron DeSantis, but like I said, I do think Charlie Crist still has a chance. So on to our second Democratic flip. In Georgia, I feel Stacey Abrams is going to win. I do think it's going to take a long time to count all of the results in Georgia, and I do think that that race will come to a runoff. So very, very close, a runoff in December, but I think that Stacey is going to ultimately win, although I do think it's going to be very close. Yeah, I know, Giselle. Too bad the Satan scandals couldn't come out before the election. I know, that one hurt, but I got to tell you how I see it at the moment. Like I said, I do think that it's going to be close, and that, women and young voters could definitely make the difference in that state. And I think, too, even the Senate race, I felt like was going to narrowly go to Marco Rubio. So, yeah, Florida just feels like it's going to stay Republican for this election. But also, too, I do think that, they're up to their old tricks in that state. All right. So, yes, Stacey Abrams winning in Georgia. Excited about that. In Hawaii, Josh Green, the Democrat, I feel is going to win. Idaho, I think, is going to stay red. Brad Little wins. I got to Illinois, and I felt like Illinois would still stay blue. J.B. Pritzker. But I feel like I don't know if there's a lot of scandals around him. I saw people plugging their nose, but voting for him out of spite, just because they didn't want it going for the Republican. But I don't know if somebody from Illinois can tell me, is he very popular or is there scandals around him? Because I don't see a lot of people excited to vote for him, but ultimately voting for him anyway. Let's see. Iowa. No, Iowa was interesting for the Senate race because I did feel like Chuck Grassley was going to lose, but I do think that the governor race is going to stay red. Kim Reynolds is who I pick for Iowa. Going next into Kansas. Right now, I believe Kansas has a Democratic governor, and my one flip over to the Republican side was in Kansas. I did not think the Democrat was going to win. I felt like it was going to be really close, but I felt like the Republican Derek Schmidt was going to win in Kansas. Dan says he's well liked as far as I know. Well, maybe there's a scandal coming up for him then, because I feel like the energy might change on people liking him if people really like him as it is now, and there was something about his energy I didn't quite like either. So yeah, Kansas I felt was going to go to the Republicans and flip from the Democrats. Maine, Janet Mills, the Democrat, was going to win, I felt. So Maine staying blue. Next, we have Maryland, and I think it's going to flip from the Republicans to Democrats. I felt Wes Moore was going to take Maryland. And Massachusetts, I felt, was going to flip from the Republicans to the Democratic Senator Maura Healey winning. And I think most of the flips that I saw, from Republican to Democrat, a lot of them were in the New England states. So, because I saw, those two, and I have another New England state I felt flipping as well. Michigan, I felt Gretchen Whitmer was going to win, but I really do not like that Republican Tudor Dixon. I think that she's extreme. We'll say that. And I felt her causing a lot of chaos, and even saw like a tower moment in Michigan, her refusing to concede, maybe inciting some violence in that state. I know that they've already try to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer as it is. So I wasn't liking the energy I was feeling in that state with Tudor Dixon, but I did feel that Gretchen Whitmer was going to prevail in Michigan. Minnesota staying Democratic with Tim Walz. Nebraska, I felt was going to stay red. Jim Pillen winning. Nevada, Steve Sisolak, the incumbent, I felt was going to win that race, so that's staying in the Democrats. New Hampshire, I do think Kristen Nuno, the Republican, is going to keep that seat. I know that New Hampshire is kind of a swing state as it is, and he's an incumbent, but I don't know. I think people do like Kristen Nuno. I'm not really sure. I'm sure he's more towards the center in that state, but I felt he was going to win. New Mexico, Michelle Lujan Grisham I saw winning. In New York, I saw Kathy Hochul winning, although I do think that New York is going to be more of a competitive race, like the polling suggests and how they're talking about in the news. Not sure what their plans are in that state. I do feel like it's going to be closer, but I do think that Kathy Hochul is going to win. I don't think it's going to be extremely close, but closer than typical New York elections. Pair up with Steve Kornacki. All right, into Ohio. Like I said before, I felt Tim Ryan was going to win the Senate, but I do feel that Mike DeWine, the Republican, is going to stay governor in Ohio. So Ohio staying red for the governor race. Oklahoma, I saw staying red, Kevin Stitt. I think that's his name. I saw him winning. Oregon, I know that there's 3 people running, but I felt Tina Kotek, the Democrat, winning in that state. Yeah, Steve Kornacki's predicted a lot of red. So, yes, I voted for Nan Whaley as well, Lisa, but I do think that the Senate race is going to be more competitive in Ohio rather than the governor race. Where was I at? So Oregon, Democrat winning Tina Kotek. Pennsylvania, I definitely see Josh Shapiro winning. I don't feel the energy's really changed there. Again, in that state, Mastriano's very extreme and going to cause a bit of a stink and try to fight the results, but I don't see that going anywhere. All right. Rhode Island, Dan McKee, the Democrat, winning. South Carolina, I felt was going to stay red. Henry McMaster winning. Now, South Dakota is really interesting, and I don't know if anybody in South Dakota is watching this, but I picked up really weird energy in South Dakota for the Senate race where the Democrat could possibly win. I don't remember what the Democrat's name was. And in this governor race, I felt like I got a maybe with the pendulum for the Democrat and the Republican. Now, I feel like based off the cards that I threw, I felt Kristi Noem was going to win. But the energy is really weird in South Dakota. Something's definitely going on in there, so we're all going to have to keep an eye on it. I think it's going to be much more competitive than it usually is. And I do think that there's still a chance that the Democrats could win the Senate race and the governor race in South Dakota. If anybody in South Dakota has some inside knowledge of what's going on in there, I would love to know. But yeah, energy is really weird in South Dakota. I'll definitely be double checking that. Yeah, I felt both would go to the Republican, Shea Kitty, the Senate race and the governor race. But it feels like it's really weirdly competitive, and like Democrats actually have a chance still to take it. On to Tennessee, I felt Bill Lee, the Republican, winning. All right, so next we're up to Texas. I know that this is a much anticipated one. My prediction is that Beto O'Rourke is going to win. And as you know, before when it's closer to the summer, I felt like beta would be cheated out of the opportunity. And the last few months, the energy around Beto's really changed where I see a lot of positive momentum and people going out to support him. The energy is really weird in this race. Um, I definitely felt like Beto would be the winner, although I'm unsure if he's actually going to take office because I felt there being a fight with that. Beto being the rightful winner, but Abbott still has a plan to stay in control. Um, and with that too, I got a yes with the pendulum for Beto and a maybe for Greg Abbott. So, so I do think that there is still a chance that Abbott's going to win. I think it's going to be a real nail biter, but I do see that Abbott refusing to concede, starting a whole bunch of problems. But based on how I feel, I am predicting that Beto is going to win. Now, another thing I was picking up with this race, for some reason, I felt we needed to maybe just take a minute and just really ground our energy, bring that focus in center, and let's just all ask for the most benevolent outcomes for Beto. That he actually takes that governor seat. He might win, but he's actually put in there as governor, and also asking white light of protection and Archangel Michael to keep Beto protected, because I was picking up some dark energy with that. I think Beto will be okay, but I do think that he needs some protection sent to him as well. The energy felt really, really weird and kind of dark in Texas. Um, so yes, Beto winning in Texas. So that flipping to the Democrats. Vermont, I thought was going to flip from the Republicans to the Democrat as well. I'm predicting Brenda Siegel winning. Thank you so much for joining, Jima. Wisconsin, Tony Evers, the Democrat winning. And then the last race, Wyoming, Mark Gordon, the Republican winning in Wyoming. So I think I got all of the governors up for this midterm cycle. I think some of them vote next year. So when I know who's running, we can look at those races too. So, but those are my predictions. They'll be posted in about a half an hour on my community tab if you missed it. And let's just all ask for the most benevolent outcomes for Democrats, that people go out and vote. We get high turnout in these midterms. I know that we're already having record-breaking early voting. And so let's hope that momentum continues and favors Democrats. And let's just ask that everybody is protected in these races, because I do feel the energy being a bit crazy. I mean, and we just saw it too with Paul Pelosi being attacked. So, yeah, and I feel like it's gonna be very crazy and chaotic the next 2 months. So let's all just try to stay positive and in that loving energy. Let's try to get out of the fear or anger, lower vibrational energy, and just really focus on grounding our energy and asking for the most benevolent outcomes. So yeah, those are my predictions. All right, let me take this banner off. And I'm sorry, I was trying to keep up with the chat. It's definitely going by, but let me go through them real quick. And if you have any questions, election related, or something big going on that you want me to take a look at, you can write them in all caps with a couple heart emojis in the chat. And we have about a half an hour to look through that. So let me just see. Yes, show me some love and hit that like button. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, I feel Florida is going to be a little bit crazy, Teresa. I wish I had better news. Like I said, I do think that there still is time for a lot of these races to change. A lot of them are not set in stone. So, stat versus heart. Kevin will get more right. Let's hope. And let's hope that I'm wrong on some of these races like Florida and, that Democrats really, really come out and vote. I would love to be wrong on Florida. I just got to tell you how I feel it at the moment. Sharon, I saw Katie Hobbs, the Democrat, winning in Arizona. Black love. I think that Stacey Abrams will be seated in office as governor. I do think that Georgia is probably going to have a runoff. And I think even with the Senate race, I feel like that may go into a runoff as well. Yeah, Laura, Abbott's not going to give in Texas. I felt that being really, really chaotic in Texas, Arizona, Georgia, Florida. Michigan too felt kind of dark. People are talking about Steve Kornacki. He's just doing his predictions based off of polling, and I've been telling you I feel the polling has been way off. The polling is going after more likely voters, and I think in this election we're going to have a lot of voters that typically don't come out for midterms, or a lot of first-time voters, a lot of new voters, or unreliable voters coming out. And I see Roe v. Wade being a big motivator for that. Students, some student debt relief. And I see with women and even independents, a lot of people really coming out because they fear our democracy is at stake. And it is if these Republicans win. So I feel like those being really motivating factors to really get people out to vote. Right. Susie says, when do you think it will all be decided? I think it's going to depend on the races. A lot of them, I feel like, could actually even take weeks. We won't really know, or we'll know, but Republicans will fight it. So I do see it being really weird. I think by the end of November for a lot of these races, we should really know. A lot of them, I think, we'll know a lot sooner. Um, but you know how it is with the early voting, and in 2020, how it took days for a lot of these elections to really um, find the winners. So I do think it's going to take some time. I'll start your question, Laura. All right. And I think I'm coming to your questions now. So thank you for being patient. Yes, let's pray that Garza and Collier win the AG and lieutenant governor seats in Texas too. Oh yeah, I did just hear about that, Earth Mama, saying Roberts held up Trump having to give his taxes to Congress. I think I see that similar to the Lindsey Graham, where it's just a stall tactic. But I do see his tax records um, getting sent to Congress. Thank you, Christy. Yes, we all have to try to stay calm, stay grounded. It's going to be crazy the next 2 months, but I do feel like the energy really is starting to shift. And it feels more like into January when a lot of these new leaders come in. Yes, look at Musk. Yeah, Carrie Lake is pretty scary. I'm with you. Yes, let's ignore the polls. Just vote. Use that fear, that anger that you have as a motivator to go out and vote. Imagine these candidates that you want to win, visualize them winning, and sit in that loving energy rather than that lower vibrational energy. And make sure that you tell your family and friends to go vote, um, to help with this momentum. Oops. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for your donation. Yes, and please hit the like button. All right. I tried putting it on slow mode. It's hard when it's just me on. Um, I don't know if we're going to get to all these questions, you guys. I already have quite a few started. That's awesome, KDZ. KDZ says it's been reported that 3 million people registered after Roe v. Wade, 8.3 million new voters since 2020. All right. Hi, Jane. Thank you for voting. All right. Okay, so I think I just went through all the questions. Our first question is from Sweetie Darling Lulu. How will Dems and the GOP feel in January of 2023? I keep asking my pendulum and focusing on it. I do feel very narrowly Democrats will keep the House. All right, and I just asked if Dems were going to keep control of the Senate or of the House in 2023. I'm getting a big yes. Let's throw some cards for Democrats, and we'll throw some cards for Republicans. It's important to, like I told you all, if there wasn't so many House races, I would have no issue going through them and making my predictions, but there's like over 400 seats, so. But I don't mind, looking at some of the competitive races if you want to put those in the chat. And Democrats just had the star fly out as I'm shuffling, so that is good. All right, let's see. How are Democrats going to feel in January of 2023? looks pretty good for Democrats. Like I said, the star popped out as I was shuffling. So this is Democrats feeling really hopeful of their future. And as I said before, I do feel like these next couple elections, don't get complacent, but I do feel Democrats are going to win majorities in the next, I think, 2 or 3 elections. And I think a big reason for that is a lot of people see the Republican Party for who they are and how dangerous they are for a democracy. I think a lot of things are going to be exposed next year, and I really see a lot of Republicans questioning their party with Donald Trump as their leader, questioning whether they can win elections because he's so divisive and so dangerous. And so, as I've said for a while, I feel that the Republican Party is actually going to kind of break up into 2 groups, and there's going to be a lot of infighting in that party, and it's going to take them quite a few election cycles to really come together and rebrand. And I do think that when they do, I do think that there'll be a more bipartisan, a much better party. So right now, Democrats are feeling a little defensive. I think a lot of them are going up the polling. And like I said, there's going to be a lot of fighting coming up in a lot of these elections. But Democrats have that power crossing them. Our wishes are fulfilled with this 9 of Cups below because of people giving money to Democrats in the past and all that hard work from people in the past to make sure that Democrats are elected. Yeah, and there's going to be some secrets exposed, and I feel like this is with the Republican Party. A lot of things coming out that a lot of things that have came out already that people are really seeing the Republican Party for who they are. We have the Queen of Cups in the future for Democrats. Loving, compassion, caring. Here is them keeping the control with the Page of Pentacles with the Sun. Yes, Democrats are going to be feeling very, very happy and joyous in January, and they are going to be in control at the bottom, 10 of Pentacles. So there is that family dynasty, that control and feeling. So it looks pretty good for Dems. I will throw on Republicans real quick. Yes, it's going to take Republicans years to wash away the Trump stain. Yes, Social Security is going to be safe. Social Security is not going anywhere, even if the Republicans manage to take the House, which I'm not predicting. Even if they did, that would not get passed in the Senate, and they would not have enough votes to stop Joe Biden from, rejecting it. Social Security is going to be safe. And of course, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. I have to say that to cover myself. All right, let me just see. Yeah, Giselle says we need greater majorities in both the House and Senate so Biden can get things done. I see things getting done. Now, when I really see really positive change and a lot more progressive change, it feels like 2024. But I do see Democrats making, voters' rights a priority, giving women control of their own health and body decisions. So a lot of really positive changes, but do I see greater changes going into 2024? Yes, I do. All right. Let's look at Republicans real quick, and then we'll get on to some more questions. Yeah, I'll use this deck. All right, so how are Republicans feeling in January 2023? How are Republicans feeling in January of 2023? What's the energy around Republicans in January of 2023? Please show us the true spirit. How are Republicans feeling? Yeah, DC will gain statehood, but it's a couple years out. This is really interesting. All right, you guys. So Republicans are feeling a little battle weary. Like I said, they're going to try to cause a lot of chaos. They are really going to fight a lot of these election results, and this is them, feeling weary after they're not successful. We have justice crossing the reading. So, like I said, a lot of court cases coming in as well. And I think a lot of justice next year for a lot of these traitorous Republicans that had a big part of the insurrection. Yeah, Republicans are constantly defending themselves. But as we know, all Republicans really care about is money and power. They think that they're going to sit pretty. They think that they can manipulate these outcomes and stay in power. Yeah, and I even get this because we have the sun in the future. So them thinking that they can get away with this, but things being exposed. And ultimately, Republicans are in the dark. They're isolated. So with this tournament, I do not see Republicans winning the House. But like I said, they're going to definitely try. And like I said before, this is the past, feelings of nostalgia. So Republicans really having to brainstorm on bringing their party together in upcoming elections. And I think, getting away from the Trump train and going more to their conservative roots. And even in their past, they have the power in the past. It's in the past, and it's staying in the past. A lot of Republicans are going to seek enlightenment on how to, maybe not enlightenment, but try to brainstorm how their party can gain power again. So, yes, praise God and the divine for justice. Well, don't put it out there, Jane. She says the D's have no chance, I think, in her state of Indiana. They're going to be stuck with Young and Trump. I know it's frustrating, but like I said, let's imagine those people that we want to win in these races. It may be unlikely, but there's always a chance. I think this is a good question to go into. In the future, will Republicans finally accept women's rights and LGBTQ people moving forward? I feel yes, but I do feel like it's like a decade off. Like I said, it's going to really take them a lot of time to rebrand. But I think that they're going to realize, too, that a lot of these social issues, I think economic issues, they're going to be more conservative. But I do think that they're going to have to brainstorm because we're going to have to make a lot of positive changes with our, like green technology. So I see Republicans at some point actually, getting on board with green technology. Still see it generates a lot of money for states, and they'll also have to realize that these social issues, they have to come with the times. But on the economy, that kind of thing, I think they are going to stay a little bit more conservative. But it's going to take a while. I'm sorry. All right. Let's take a look at the pendulum real quick. Laura Wright says, if Beto wins here in Texas, how effective will he be if Ken Paxton and Dan Patrick stay in office? Do I see them losing their seats? They are awful and need to go. Let me ask the pendulum if they're going to win. Ken Paxton, I know that he's had a lot of um, investigations around him or legal issues, and I do feel like they're still coming. I know that he's delayed them for a while though, but is Ken Paxton's the AG of Texas? Yeah, Ken Paxton is corrupt. Yes. Oh, that's interesting. Let me ask again. Is Ken Paxton going to win his election in Texas in 2022? I'm getting a no of him winning with the pendulum. All right, let's ask about Dan Patrick. Is Dan Patrick going to win his reelection? I feel like Patrick might, but Paxton, like I said, I feel more scandal coming up, and the pendulum said no, he wouldn't win. Let's see with the pendulum. Will Dan Patrick stay as the lieutenant governor in Texas? Will Dan Patrick win his reelection in Texas? Yeah, and I'm getting a yes for Patrick. That's really weird. Lieutenant governor takes over for governor if the governor steps down or if anything happens to him, right? Yes, let's hope that they both lose. Is that right with the lieutenant governor? Kind of like the vice president in the presidency? Only in some states. Thank you, Sunil. Well, wouldn't Beto have his own lieutenant governor then? Like Mimi says, the governors pick his own running mate? Or is states different? I'm sorry. I wish I knew more. I'm just going to look at the overall energy over Dan Patrick. Oh, that's crazy, Laura. Well, if they vote for the lieutenant governor separately, I do see if Dan Patrick does make it in, it being very burdensome for him. But you know, and I think what this is too, at the bottom of the reading, no shocker, we have the thief in the night and the high priestess. So a lot of shady things, that corrupt things that Dan Patrick's done, a lot of those secrets are being exposed. And that might be where a lot of these burdens come from. I do think that race is going to be very close. And it, you know, with the temperance saying, be patient. Everything's going to be okay, but this, you know, is a slower moving card. Yeah, the energy right now feels very restricted, and this is Republicans. They have a plan to start a fight in Texas. Like I said, they want to manipulate the outcome. But I do see if Dan Patrick does get in, it's going to be very burdensome by his secrets and corruption being exposed. Okay, they're elected separately. I know here in Ohio, our lieutenant governor, we vote for the governor and they get to pick. So I believe so anyway. So yeah, I don't think it would be a good time if Texas allows that. So. Well, if Beto won, then he would be able to pick his own lieutenant governor. So if that's what you're saying, like I said, I don't know how things go in Texas. So no, I trust you though, but being told different things. Regardless his energy in the future, there's a lot of secrets being exposed. So a lot of burdensome. So all right. Yeah, it's confusing. Right. I'm not knowledgeable of all these states or how a lot of I know every state has different rules and how they do things differently. So all right. Is MTG being investigated by the FBI? I feel yes. Let's see what the pendulum has to say. Is MTG being investigated by the FBI? We got a big yes. Huge yes. All right. Laura says the Texas Senate chooses the lieutenant governor. Well, I don't see Texas turning more blue, maybe in that governor's race, but with their state elections, it's still probably going to be pretty red because of how they gerrymander. So, but yes, MTG is being investigated by the FBI. I've said for a while, I think a lot of Republicans that went along with the insurrection. I do see a lot of them in trouble and quite a few of them in jail. And I've said before, I feel like MTG may get reelected. I think that that's pretty likely, but I don't see her being able to finish her term because um, of these investigations. And I've gotten in the past, I feel she may go to jail. So I didn't hear that. Mimi Rose says MTG's husband is claiming she physically abused him. Duh. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. All right. Just another quick comment, real quick. Adrian says, since you're in Ohio, do you sense a swing towards Tim Ryan around you? The county that I am in is pretty red. We do have some, you know, smaller cities where they say Democratic, but typically our county stays red um, and pretty red. There's a lot of Trumpers out here, but I have noticed the last few weeks when I like drive to the store or anything. Before, all I saw was Republican signs. I don't think a lot of people really care for DeWine, the governor. A lot of Trumpers don't really care for him, but they will vote for him over a Democrat. I don't think a lot of them liked how we handled COVID in the beginning of the pandemic. Um, but that didn't last very long before he reopened things, and probably a little bit sooner than he should have. But and a lot of Vance signs. But over the last couple of weeks, I have started to see Ryan signs start to pop up, or Nan Whaley signs. So I do think that there's a shift, but around me, it's pretty red. So Roid Rage MTG. How is it around you, Aries Wanderer? I know that I'm in Painesville, so I don't know about. I think you're in Euclid or not Euclid, Willowick, Eastlake, I think, which is where I used to live. Yes, let's all manifest and visualize MTG and handcuffs. That would be great. Oh wow, we have over 400 people watching. Thank you all for the support, and please subscribe and like if you haven't already. Yeah, Willow. Thank you, Aries. Do you have a lot of Ryan and Whaley signs around you, Aries? I feel like that area is a little. It's not quite as bad as where I'm at, but you know, a lot of hillbillies out in that area too. Love their Trump. All right. Mama Jen asked, did MTG know ahead of time about the attack on Paul Pelosi? I know that she made a comment on Twitter. I don't feel like it was connected to Paul Pelosi, but let me double check with the pendulum. Oh, that's great, Lisa. Did Marjorie Taylor Greene know about the attack on Paul Pelosi before it happened? Marjorie Taylor Greene know about the attack on Paul Pelosi before it happened? It's interesting because it went from a maybe to a no. So maybe there was maybe a little bit of a sus- suspicion, but she didn't know anything definitively. I don't feel like she was involved in that. And Laura says that she felt like her comment was about Twitter and Trump returning. I didn't see that video of Ellie Dreams Down Under, but I don't feel like there's really a connection, like she had anything to do with it. Maybe she did hear a little bit of a plan, but nothing definitive. But I don't think that that's what the comment was about. That's just my opinion, how I'm picking it up and feeling it. Let's look. I do think she's going to win. Well, Abrams win the runoff on the 6th of December of 2022. I just heard yes very strongly, and I think that all the craziness in Georgia in November is going to motivate Democrats to come out and into the future on the state to vote. And I don't think a lot of Trumpers really are enthusiastic just to go out to vote for Kemp. Walker maybe, but not Kemp. Let me just check with the pendulum. Will Stacey Abrams win her runoff election on the 6th of December, 2022? We got a big yes. Big yes. Ava says, hi, what have I missed? You've missed a lot. Go on my community page. I think I had it set to post my governor predictions for 2022 at 3:30, so they should be on there. And I think maybe for next week, for actual election day, let me know how you think. Let's maybe start off with just a quick grounding Reiki session, just because I know everybody's going to be so nervous. Let's try to bring some peace and balance in and really manifest that win for Democrats. Deanne Shieldmaiden should be on with us next week. So, yeah, I think Kemp stepped on Trump's toes, so I don't think a lot of his a lot of his voters have been really enthusiastic about Kemp. So, yes. Let me see. We're at an hour. Let me look at a couple more of these races or questions. We'll try to be quick with some of them. Dan says, Kevin, could you look at Musk and his plans as well as whether he's successful or will fail? I feel Musk losing a lot of money, and I see a lot of people leaving Twitter. I think we all know why Musk wanted to buy Twitter, and I do think that, you know, I feel like there might be a connection, or maybe Musk met with Putin or something like that. It does feel like there is some kind of back channel to him, and so he wants to give Trump and um, people that want to say violent things a platform to say it on, and I see it really costing him. Let's ask, how should I word this? Let's just ask, is Twitter going to implode because of Musk's takeover? Is Twitter going to implode because of Musk's takeover of Twitter? Got a big yes. See him losing a lot of money because of Twitter. And maybe that's why, too, a lot of us readers, we definitely saw things getting delayed. But, like, I know for me, I said I didn't feel he was going to take Twitter. It's definitely been delayed out. So maybe it's just because he doesn't have it for very long. I see a lot of people leaving Twitter. Yeah. Oh, I don't think there's anything wrong with Deanne Shield Maiden. We've been doing every other week, so she'll be on next week, Hilda. I feel like it might be 40 or 50% of its value, Liz. That's what I just got as I read your question. So I think it'll be a little bit higher. Yeah, I don't have a Twitter, so. And I feel like there's lawsuits coming up around Musk too, maybe to do with Tesla. I'll just tell you though, when Democrats keep control, I really see them making changes where you can't be a news station and say that you're telling news and pushing a bunch of conspiracy theories. You can't be in charge of a social media platform and allow fake news to come out through it. A lot of these have to be vetted by facts. I do see changes with that. All right, let's see. Crazy Shark says, when do you see President Xi of China stepping down? I think it's going to be a while. I don't know how often they have elections, but I'm feeling like I was saying 5, 6. I'm thinking like years. I think he's going to be in there for a while. I know he just got voted back in. But I see changes for China, but it feels like it's going to take a while before China really, you know, starts to, leave the Communist Party and become more democratic. It feels like it's out there quite a while. Cheryl, I don't feel that the Electoral College is going to be eliminated by the 2024 elections. Maybe the following midterm elections or following, it would be presidential elections, maybe by 2028, but not before. I feel like it might be 2028, maybe even 2032. It feels like it's about like a decade out, 5 years to 10 years, something like that. Aries Wanderer says, what's going to happen to Twitter, which I just went over, and what are my thoughts on Tribal Social? I don't know anything about Tribal. I've seen on a few shows people talking about it. Like I said, I'm not really huge on social media. I have a Facebook account that I hardly ever go on now. I use it more for Messenger. No, I don't. I try not to spend too much time on social media, um, just because I feel like it's a waste of energy. Because you sit on it for hours, and I don't know. I've been kind of busy. I do have an Instagram account too. I have no idea how Instagram even works. I just kind of set it up um, and haven't really done much with it. Every now and then, my phone will say, "Oh, you have a new follower." I'm like, it must be somebody in the community. I have no clue on how to use Instagram. All right. I think I'm going to end with this, and let's just throw some cards on it real quick. Yeah, I don't know anything about Tribal, Colleen. Tribal has a lot of misinformation, and you left already. Okay, got you. Yeah, Dan, I see Tesla suffering. I don't know if it's because of his feelings on Twitter, but I hasn't there been issues with like batteries catching on fire, like Tesla batteries, and issues with people buying cars and them not working properly? Like I feel like there's lawsuits coming up with Tesla if there's not already. And Libra Lady says, do you see less Republicans overall voting because more passed due to COVID? I see that making a very, very small, um, I don't think it's going to be a huge influence in people voting or the results. I don't. I think maybe a small amount. Yeah. All right. So I heard about it briefly before I started, but I haven't watched the news on it. But Earth Mama says, what the hell did Justice Roberts do by holding up Trump's tax returns? I do feel like it's just a temporary stall. Like I said before, I feel going through. But there was just it's not just the more conservative justices, because didn't Keegan just stall something for Trump or for Republicans or something? Yeah, Susie, I think you're right. Susie says it's just to get past election day. I don't know how I want to look at this. And I think it's going to be a while before I see Indiana turning blue. I hope I'm wrong. So I'll look. If you want, send that to me. If I didn't get to your question today, send it on Thursday night, because, like I said, Mel is definitely going to be on my show Thursday. Linda said she would, but I haven't talked to her, confirmed anything yet. So Mel and Linda G may be on Thursday night. Let's see. Let's just ask, are Trump's tax returns going to be sent to Congress? I do feel like they will be. I'm more interested in that rather than Robert's motivation to spend things and hold them up. Is Congress going to get to see Trump's tax returns? Please show me the true spirit. Yep. Bottom of the deck. It's just to slow things down, to hold things up. Let's see. Well, I see somebody not very happy about their financial information getting out there, but yes, I do get a yes. Ace of Cups is the final outcome. That they're working very hard, and somebody's disappointed with their finances, because Trump prides himself on being a billionaire, which he isn't. So he's very disappointed in people actually seeing his real income. And like I said too, Letitia James, the IRS are going to go after Trump and Trump org for all the fraud. And I see that. I see his whole legacy crumbling to the ground. He's not going to have a penny. Yeah. This is slow and methodical. Knight of Pentacles, this is them carrying the tax returns, but the Knight of Pentacles is rather slow. I don't know if it's just Trump's personal taxes or, maybe the family business, because this is coming along with it too, the family. Yeah, we're going to have good news. It's going to be a good surprise, but it's just kind of slow. It's to slow things down. That's why he did it. All right, everyone. Let me go over my notes again real quick. All right. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. Please hit that thumbs up. Like I told you earlier, this Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to have a celebration for my channel. It's going to be a live stream, have some readers joining us. And I will be picking 2 people for a free half-an-hour session for a reading or a Reiki appointment. Now, how you enter this giveaway is after I close this video out, go to the comments and write a comment starting with reading or a comment starting with Reiki. Reading or Reiki. I have an app that I can go in and have them, randomly pick somebody with the keyword Reiki and pick somebody with the keyword reading. So we'll have one winner for a 30-minute reading, one winner for a 30-minute Reiki session. And so I will pull those on Saturday. I will make a reminder in the community tab as well on how to do this. This video, Tarot Tuesday, November 1st, 2022, will be the video. Like I said before, Mel, possibly Linda G, will be on Thursday night, so I'm excited for that. The celebration show will be Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same time for the Thursday show. And I won't be doing any readings, but, we can chill out, try to bring have some fun. I think that we need that right now with all the chaos going on in the world. And, kind of help to ground us a little bit before next Tuesday. Again, members, we'll be doing our weekly live stream tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll be doing a pick a crystal reading for the monthly energy of November. Possibly, if we have time afterwards, maybe doing a couple mini reads. They can be personal or political. If anybody needs to get in contact with me for a reading or a Reiki session, you can do so by emailing me at kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com. It's in the description box of this video. Also, you can text me at 440-376-4088. I do have an opening on Thursday and one on Friday. If anybody's interested in that, please reach out. How do you become a member? I will send the link again, Mama Jen. Here's the link if you want to become a member. I do have it in the description box of all my videos as well. But there, I just sent that. You can click on it. Depending on if you're using a phone or a computer, you might have to, do something with Google to allow that to go through. And let me just make sure I'm not missing anything else. No, I think I covered it all. Just try to stay grounded, everyone. Tap into that loving vibrations. Try to stay out of the fear, out of the anger. Oh, I pulled a card for our collective, like I did last week. I pulled a postcard from our spirit guide. So this is what Spirit wants us all to know, their advice and guidance for the next week. They want you to know that you are divine beauty. And they're saying, dearest you, we have a secret to share with you. If you act as if all is well, it will be. Act as if you are brave and you will have courage. Act as if you are loved and you will be a magnet for love and experience the love of spirit. Act as if your prayers have been answered, as if you are truly in sync with good fortune. How you think is how you see the world. Interact with it and draw conclusions from it. If you want to be the person who has the life you want, co-creating and loving what is yours, you need to start acting as if that were truth. Don't worry about the conditions in life that seem empty or carnivorous, chaotic, or barren. These are temporary and don't even count. Defy them and act as if you're the luckiest person on the planet. You will be, for you already are. That's the real secret. You are infinite potential. Loving you so much, rainbows explode into the ether. And I love this message. As I said before, this is really kind of key to manifesting. And that's why I said, let's sit in that love, act as if, the things that we want, or these races, these politicians that we want to win, visualize them winning, and sit in that loving energy rather than that fear or anger energy for all the corruption going on. So I think that this message really resonates with me. I hope it does with you. All right, everyone. I'm sending you all a bunch of love. I will see you all Thursday, okay? Y'all take care. Bye-bye.